Episode 22, y'all. Welcome back. If you're watching me, thank you. If you're listening, thank you as well. I'm so excited, man. Episode 22. We're back. If you're new here, thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for tuning in. If somebody shared it or whatever it was, I really do appreciate all the support. My name is Karla, and you can follow me on all my socials, WoahKarlaWoah, The Honesty Bar Podcast. And then if you need any treats, if you need any birthday boxes, that sort of like dessert, edibles, that sort of thing, you could check out my page, SweetHustleLLC. By the time this video is up, the new menu should be up and a new logo. I just wanted to redo the whole look of it. I really wanted to stick to the pinks. I'm a pink girly, so I redid the logo. I started kind of moving stuff around for the Honesty Bar Podcast, so make sure y'all follow me so anything that I post y'all be updated with. And yeah, with the video now and just doing the audio as well, I was like, dude, am I gonna have to start planning out my outfits? Am I gonna, because I mean, obviously if I'm gonna do video, I don't want to look bogus, so I had previously recorded an episode last week and I was supposed to post it on Friday, but then I had seen that OJ Simpson died and I was like, fuck, I really want to talk about it on the podcast, because for a while I had been not obsessed, but I really was into it. I just don't know how this freaking man got away with it. I really don't know how he got away with it, but we're gonna talk about all that in a minute. We'll tap into that. But I had previously recorded an episode and I was like, no, it was only audio, and I was like, I have to start recording videos. So here we are, y'all. And I was like, I didn't get to do it over the weekend because one of my cousins got his barber license, and I was like, dude, we gotta go out and celebrate. So shout out to him, Caesar. Follow him, Caesar V. Your Barber. I have an episode on the podcast with him if you guys want to kind of listen to how he started and stuff. So men, follow him, book him. He's a really dope barber. And I'm not just saying that because he's my family. Make sure y'all follow him. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna record on Monday. And then today I was like, I'm not changing. Literally, I'm off work, y'all. So you guys are gonna have to get the mustard sweater. I don't know what I'm gonna wear next time, but tune in so you can see it. I got my headphones on so I can hear myself as I'm recording. But I was like, fuck it, let's do it, let's get to it. So we're here, and we're gonna just go right ahead with the OJ Simpson. Let's just I got a couple topics right here. If you see me looking over here, it's because I have my notes and the stuff that I want to talk about. When I usually do audio, it's easier because I'm looking dead at it and I could just go. So if it sounds like I'm saying or I'm being slow, I'm not, y'all. I'm not high. I'm actually really sober right now. But so if you've been on social media this past weekend, OJ Simpson passed away at the age of 76 from prostate cancer. I believe he had been fighting it off for a while, but I guess as of recently, as the days progressed, as time progressed, it got worse. So he passed away on Friday. I was reading, I was just trying to keep up with the Shade Room, TMZ stuff that they post, and I guess his friends had eventually started already visiting him, but from those visits, he wanted people to sign NDAs. Nobody knows why. It hasn't been released why, but I mean, I would hope that he would want to I don't know, maybe I just think it's really dark if he did do it, which I said, I don't know if I've already said it, but I do believe that he did it. I've seen the documentaries. I've seen a series on Netflix called People, which the series, I know it's not going to bring up the real facts, but just seeing how everything played out, I should say, it's called People versus OJ Simpson, an American murder story or some shit like that. And it's with Cuba Gooding Jr., which he plays OJ, and then David Schwimmer, which he played Ross on Friends, and he played Robert Kardashian, which Robert Kardashian was OJ's best friend, confidant, and one of his main lawyers in his defense team. So just watching everything, I was like, dude, how did this motherfucker get away with that shit? Like, it's crazy. All the evidence that they had, even down to like the freaking like police chase that he took them in. Everybody knows the infamous like Denver Bronco. Look at me, listen to me, already making up car names and shit. That's just some Denver Bronco. The white Bronco that he was driving. Like, everyone knows, you know, of that. And if you don't, like, you can look up clips on TikTok. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot that comes up, you know, when they bring that shit up. And I don't know. It's just like a creepy, apart from it being so famous like in the media like back in the day, and even now like when you talk about it, like OJ did it, it's just like really, it gives me chills. I'm a very much like crime junkie sometimes, so that right there was like, you know, obviously. And I like the Kardashians too, so I thought it was kind of cool, you know, with, you know, Robert and stuff, and then being friends. And then Kris Jenner was Nicole Brown's best friend, which was his wife. And just like, even people like the rumors. There's a rumor. I don't think it's true now, because now that Khloe has had her baby, we've seen the baby looks like Rob, which is her younger brother. So he has those Kardashian genes. And even people saying that she's not Robert's daughter because she looks way different than what Kim and Kourtney look like. They're more smaller, more petite, dark hair, like dark features. And she was like, even as a baby, like a blonde little girl, you know. So they would say that OJ was Khloe's dad, and how she had an affair with him. And it's just like a whole bunch of bullshit. Like, it's just funny to me. But it was unfortunate. I mean, he stabbed his wife to death. Well, allegedly, I should say, but I guess not, because he already beat the case. But he stabbed his wife to death, and their waiter and her friend Ron, I can't remember his last name, but they both got stabbed to death. They were found in their home in LA, you know, dead. And it was just like a really like crazy, unfortunate series of events in the 90s. It was one of the most famous cases, I guess you should say. People still talk about it. And I was like reading little things about him. Like, I was like looking up facts, like stuff that I could just bring up. And one of the main things that fucking came up at the top, obviously, is gonna say when he was born. His fucking birthday is on July 9th. Cancers, we don't claim him. I'm letting y'all know right now. We're not killers, but don't push us. And somebody pushed him, but I guess not, right? Because he beat it. But we don't claim him. So, you know, he was born on July 9th, and yeah, we don't claim him. One of the things that I was like reading throughout the weekend was just like people sending their condolences and stuff. Motherfucking Caitlyn Jenner, man. Caitlyn Jenner always finds a way to get to the media. I swear, she always got to say some shit. I don't know if you guys have Twitter or still use, or I should say X, because it's not Twitter no more. But I mean, I follow her, and even like Instagram and stuff. And she had put, "Good riddance, OJ." Like, whatever, you know, like, all right, well, I'll see you later. Like, it was like fucked up. And like a lot of people started coming for her, and they were like, let's not forget your car crash. Because if you don't know, Caitlyn Jenner was involved in a fatal car crash back in 2015, 2016. And she was driving, had a fatal car accident, and she ended up killing a lady that was like 69 years old. Never got prosecuted for it, never did time for it. They just had a settlement for like $850K, and that was that. So people were coming to him like, don't try to be funny, you know, about it, like blah blah blah. And, you know, Caitlyn clapped back, and she was like, you know, like, let's not forget, like, he was the one that said it as well, though. Like, he was the one that said, like, I'll fucking kill you and I'll get away with it. And, you know, and he did. Like, I mean, he did. There was a lot of evidence, though, that was, like I mentioned, that was brought upon in court that would, you know, make, I guess, the jury and stuff believe that he did do it. There was a reading in the verdict claiming, and I'm going to just read what it said. It says the prosecution's DNA test results in the Simpsons case indicated that O.J. Simpson's blood was found on the rear gate at the murder scene, and that Nicole Brown Simpson's blood was found on socks taken from the police by O.J. Simpson's residence. Another thing in one of the documentaries is that when O.J. Simpson claimed, the whole thing was that he claimed that night he was in Chicago. He was nowhere near LA. He was not there. That was his alibi, basically. And when he did fly back to LA and he pulled up to his residence, there's a briefcase that he was holding. And in several videos, because obviously paparazzi, news stations, like, they were there, so there's like several videos that show he had a briefcase and it was handed off to Robert Kardashian. Nobody questioned it. Nobody brought it up. And I don't believe that they brought it up in court, but like the people that did the documentary, like, constantly asked, like, what was in that briefcase? Could it have been DNA? Could it have been clothes? Could it have been this? Could it have been that? We'll never know. And like, they say it all the time in the documentary too. Like, I guess we'll never know because OJ's not going to talk, and obviously Robert Kardashian's already dead. But when they're reading the verdict and they're showing OJ, you can see in Robert's face like that he just knew. Like, he was just like astounded. Like, he was shocked in himself too. Like, he was like, fuck, like, I can't believe it. Because I think that in his heart, obviously he knew that was his best friend, and he probably told him like, hey man, like, I'll help you, but you have to tell me the truth. Like, you have to tell me if you did it or not. So you can see it in his face. If you're not familiar, like, if there's everything that I'm saying, I mean, I would hope that you guys are familiar, because like I said, it's like a really big case. But like, if you're not, I would go to TikTok, go on Google, I would watch documentaries. It's really crazy. And I guess you can say this is kind of like where the Kardashian name got kind of famous, other than like Kim's sex tape in the early 2000s. But just the name overall, like, it's like, oh, Kardashian. So I don't know, it's really unfortunate. My condolences for sure to OJ. I mean, if he did it, he's gonna have to deal with that in heaven with Jesus. So shout out to him. Another thing that I talked about on the last episode, and I kind of wanted to bring it up. I've been really catching up on a lot of podcasts and just a lot of new shows, like, on YouTube. Like, even if people don't have like podcasts, like, they'll host like little mini table talks, like, how Jada did. And there's one that's called Recipe for Change, and the host on this last episode was Tatiana Ali, and Melanie Fiona was there, Kim Durden was there, Kyla Pratt was there. Kyla Pratt is the voice of Penny Proud, and she also played Little Monica in Love and Basketball, like the young Monica. But they sat down, and I love watching that kind of stuff because it's like a woman empowerment. They talk about like women issues and things that we go through on a daily basis, just kind of helping each other. Hey, maybe I've been through this, let me help you, let me give you some insight or whatever. So they were kind of talking, and Kyla Pratt had brought up a point that she had to really learn how to like advocate for herself as a woman, as a Black woman. And she had said that during her second pregnancy, she went into labor early, and while she was in the hospital, I guess she was like telling the nurse like, hey, like, I'm getting contractions, like, I'm feeling a lot of pressure, like, can you call my doctor in here? And I guess the nurse was like, no, you're not, like, you're not getting contractions, like, trust me, like, I know how to read the monitor, like, and she was like, this is my second pregnancy, I know what I'm feeling, go get my doctor. And I guess as a result, the doctor came in and he told her like, oh yeah, you're so and so dilated, like, we have to get you to an emergency C-section because obviously, you've been in labor for this amount of time. It could be really threatening to you and the baby. And I guess she was saying like she was so small, because she's already like small. Like, if you Google her and how tall she is, like, she's tiny. And in her second pregnancy, like, she's just like all belly. So they had to do an emergency C-section. And she always says like, because of that, like, that's why my daughter's here, because if I would have waited any longer, that could have potentially, affected her, affected me. So she talks about advocating for herself, and I really resonated with that because I feel like for myself, and I don't want to speak on all women because I know a lot of powerful women in my life that are not afraid to speak their mind, as well as myself. But I feel like sometimes I can be reserved in certain situations. I'm not going to say all the time, because when somebody fucks with my family, or really, really just like I feel disrespected, I'm always going to, speak for myself. But there was a time where I did feel like I couldn't speak up, or like I couldn't, like my voice didn't matter, which kind of sounds fucked up, and I don't want to say it like that, but like I just didn't want to sound stupid like if I opened my mouth, and it took a lot of me building confidence in myself, knowing the value that I bring to the table, for me to be able to speak and not regret it, and not leave a room and regret that, not being able to speak, So I remember when I was 17, and, my first and only pregnancy, like full-term pregnancy, I went to the hospital, and I don't want to say the hospital that my son was born at, but I went into labor pretty early, not earlier as far as term, but like early in the morning. So I was like hella tired, I had already been having contractions like all through the morning time. And I remember I was like at the house by myself with my grandma, and I called my mom and I called his dad, and I was like, you guys, like I'm going into labor, like let's do it. Like I can't take the pain no more. We got to the hospital around 11 in the morning, and I just could not take it no more. And I kept telling them like, can I get an epidural? Can I get an epidural? Which I know it's like, all the women that can have a child with no epidural, y'all are the fucking goats in my eyes. More power to you. Me personally, like I just couldn't. And at like my 17-year-old body, like I was like tiny, like I had a little girl body. Now I'm thick. Like like I have a grown woman body now. It's different. But the pain level that I felt at that time, like I just couldn't take it. So I was like, can I get epidural? Can I get epidural? And she was like, well, we have to wait. Okay, cool. Like, that's fine. But it was just like an unbearable fucking pain. And there was a doctor that would come and check me. And he was like, yeah, you're not opening up. And as soon as I said something like, can you please, like, it had been a while though. Like, it had been a couple hours. And I was like, can you please, like, check me again? Like, I can't take the pain no more. Like, please. And the doctor checked me, and he was like, oh yeah, you're at 6-7 centimeters. You want that epidural? We have to do it now, because if we don't give it to you now, like, you're not going to be able to get it. It could be a risk to you. And I was like, yes, like, let's do it. Like, I had been asking for this for the last couple hours. Like, it took you guys this long. Like, maybe you guys could have given it to me earlier. I felt nauseous. Like, I think that's probably one of the reasons why I'm so like scared to like even go through that whole like pregnancy, because just like physically, and like it was just exhausting. It really was. And me being still so young, it was just really traumatic for me. And I just always told myself, like, if I was gonna put myself in that situation again, like, I really want to be mentally prepared. I really want to be physically prepared. I want to be emotionally prepared. I want it to be a good pregnancy. I'm not saying that I had the worst of the pregnancies my first time, but I was young and I didn't get to enjoy it. My baby shower, I remember, like, I was excited for it, but I wasn't like, I was like, oh my God, my baby shower, like I didn't get to do a gender reveal. So that sort of thing, So when she was talking about it, like, it really like resonated with me. And I was like, man, I would hope that maybe somebody that was listening to me, because I know some of my sister's friends sometimes, like, they listen to my podcast, and I know a lot of the topics are probably directed towards, adults and people predominantly around my age. But, if there was a young woman or like a young lady or even a teen mom listening, like, I would hope that, it doesn't, I was gonna say if you're Latina, but I don't care if you're black, white, purple, orange, like, I don't care. I would hope that with me telling you this, and just bringing up you watching A Recipe for Change, like, you really surround yourself with strong individual women. You really surround yourself with people that are going to believe in you, that are not going to make you feel stupid, that you wouldn't want to be the smartest person in the room, that you would want to surround yourself with people that are going to make you greater. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I was so intrigued with kind of starting my podcast, because I wanted to have a voice for myself and then potentially start bringing on guests and, start having people come and tell their story. Maybe we'll talk about topics like the O.J. Simpson or just things that could be going on, like, current events. But I was like, yeah, like I really want to bring that up. Not even just like for medical purposes, like advocating for yourself, but just like in the workforce as well. I mean, everybody knows women get paid less than men. A woman can know more, but I mean, it's illegal for them to do that, but they're not always going to fess up to it and say, yeah, because of this, you're going to get paid less. But yeah, women definitely make less than men, so I think it's important for women and even men to advocate for yourselves. I think it's important for you to speak up for yourself. So just wanted to bring that up. That's one of the topics. And I had another topic that I did want to talk about, but I had told one of my friends that my next episode, because she's out of state, so she's actually going to record with me. It's going to be my first like Zoom like episode that I'm going to be doing, not just like by myself. So I was like, what, I'm going to save that to talk with her about that, because it really is interesting and I want to hear what she has to say. I kind of brought it up to her, and I'm going to send her a couple of documentaries that she's going to watch so we can kind of bring it up. So I'm excited. But for now, I think, yeah, it's probably going to be a short episode. Hopefully I can get these reels up and start posting this for you guys. But thank you for tuning in. If you watched all the way to the end, like, man, shout out to you. Like, I appreciate you. I know that right now my canvas is blank, but give me a minute, y'all. Like, I like, the first step was having a designated area for where I wanted to do it. Now I'm thinking about doing like a little cute wall, like a little LED light. Maybe we can get the logo. If y'all want to sponsor anything, look, hit me up. But until then, hit me up on the socials, SweetHustleLLC, WoahKarlaWoah, and the Honesty Bar Podcast. So I'll catch you on the next one.